Hi, I'm Matt Hoss Comedy. I'm a stand-up comedian, Twitch streamer, and today I'm here to tell you how to get an average of 3 viewers on Twitch. You might wonder, Matt, why have you picked a random number, like 3 viewers? That's pretty odd. Any Twitch streamer will be able to tell you that you need a minimum of 3 average viewers per stream to become a Twitch affiliate, which gets you earning money, gives you lots of cool things like emotes and channel points. But how do we get to that point? Because when you first start streaming, that's definitely the hardest part, isn't it? It's to get people in. Today I've got 13 tips to help you grow your audience when you have pretty much nothing, and I'm here to help out. So this is also to help out getting those 50 followers as well. And yeah, but let's talk about how we do that. Some of you might be watching and say, hey, I've already become a Twitch affiliate. I would actually argue a lot of these things in here, what I'm talking about today, are quite a nice concepts, things that you can still learn regardless of that. It's still about growing your audience. So if you want to know more about that, come and have a chat. Let's help you get to those 3 average viewers. They're not just average, they're bloody lovely. See, if you do those kind of jokes on stream, then yeah, you're going to be absolutely fine, mate. Tip number 1, and I would say the key to all of this is you need to make a decision early on. Why do people want to come and watch you stream? And this isn't knocking anyone who just wants to do it for a bit of fun. That's absolutely cool. But I think that if you would like to grow that audience and to kind of grow from strength to strength, that you need to choose kind of a core identity. And I would say there's 2 major camps here. There is kind of like general likability, or being very skilled at a game. Now, I think that quite a lot of people are going to have to go for likability, because what I mean by that is that there's 2 types of Twitch streamers, I would say. There are people who are very good at a game, who are fantastic what they do. They do speed runs or do stuff like challenge runs, and they're really good for that. Or, like the rest of us, who are terrible at video games, definitely like me, you need likability there. You know, so make sure just choose which one you're doing. You know, are you choosing to be likable and to be a good persona to watch games, or is it nice and chilled out? You know, it's likability is a very vague term I've used here just to show like why people might want to get behind your streams. Why are they liking the thing that you do? Tip number 2 is expanding that idea. What is your unique selling point? A USP, as it's very much known, is, so what's the thing that makes your stream much different from everyone else's? You don't necessarily need to think of this right now. This isn't a thing that you have to say, this is me forever, this is what I do. What I'm trying to say is experiment. Learn how to do different things, try out different genres, or try different things that you like to do. But figure out what is the thing that makes people want to come back to your stream, because that's what you're trying to do here. We're not saying we need an average of 3, so any 3 people will do. No, what we're trying to do is get people to come back and to enjoy the stream as much as possible. So what is the thing that they're coming back for? Is, again, with that likability, or is it technical stuff? Do they like the thing that you're streaming? Do they like the video game? Do they like your community? What is the thing that they like from your stream? And for me, I would say that my thing is that I'm not technically a very good streamer. I'm a comedian, that's one of the things. I also talk about mental health, and also there's a degree of wholesomeness there. So it's not just one thing, it's about what is the whole package that you offer. And most of the time, it's just who you are as a person, which is that unique selling point. It's you, but what is that part about you, which is unique? And you might be like, oh, well, I'm not unique. I don't believe it. You really are unique. If you don't believe that about yourself, you really should. I don't know you, and I can't make a judgment call, but I genuinely believe that everyone has that thing that makes them unique. So figure out what is that thing inside of you which people specifically like. And if you have no idea, ask a friend, because they'll be able to help you out. Stream number 3. With that unique selling point, try to stream things which is appropriate for the audience that you're trying to bring in. Do you know what I mean? So if you are trying to bring in a literature kind of culture vibe, and you are trying to like have interesting nuanced discussions on like on mental health, or talking about some really big philosophical subjects, maybe don't stream Fortnite, you know what I mean, or Fall Guys, you know what I mean. It just might offset the kind of people you're trying to bring in. And it's okay to experiment out the realm, but just try to think, what is the thing, who are the people you're trying to bring in? Not only what is your unique selling point, but what is the demographic, what are the target audience that you're trying to go for, and try to pick a game that might try and fit them. I would say try to avoid the more popular games like Fortnite. Try to find your own vibe with that. There's millions of games out there which are really, really unique. And if you go for specific games, you can tap into that community there and get some fans and followers that way. It's a nice way to dip into that. But so try to avoid the obvious games and try to pick games that you think might suit your vibe. The only thing I played for about 6 months was Sid Meier's Civilization 6, which I love, one of my favourite games, but wasn't really appropriate for my vibe because I'm quite a chaotic, silly energy, and playing a game which is strategy and purely just talking about... Do you know what I mean? It doesn't quite suit the vibe. And still to this day, if I pick a game, which anytime I play a game, there's that kind of that crossover period which people are like, oh wait, he's actually taking this seriously. It's about kind of getting the right pitch there. Tip number 4, build a community. It's essential. You need to do it. Where are people going to check in with you when you are offline? Because it's not just about being online. It's about connecting with people when they're offline too. About building a community. What I'd really recommend, if you haven't done so, create your own Discord. Many Twitch people are on Discord at the moment, and it can be overwhelming. But if I didn't have Discord, it would not have helped me to regain followers, because what it did is it pulled people in the same area to have the same interests, to have discuss things as well. Make the Discord unique as well. What are the things that you like talking about? If you're a big Marvel fan, maybe talk about different aspects of Marvel, like Phase 4 or whatever kind of TV shows you want to look at. Talk about those things. And have this pool of like-minded people, because what you're doing is not just building a place for your fans. It's your place. It's your home. It's where people can you can engage with the things that you like to do, and you don't have to deal with things that you don't like as well. Just put the things that you want to talk about, and people will kind of resonate with that. So the important thing there is, where does your fan base connect with you when you are offline? And just FYI, it doesn't have to be a 24-hour thing, because that's too much, but just a message every now and then offline, it keeps people engaged, and that's a nice thing to do. Number 5, and this goes hand in hand with the previous point, avoid follow for follow. Please avoid follow for follow. There is a nuance here, and I think that it's important to have community. You've got to have community, and people like the Boogie Mustache community. They are a really wonderful group of people, and without them, I wouldn't be where I am with streaming, because what they are, they're a bunch of lovely, mostly Welsh streamers who basically support each other's work. And this is a community because they are caring. There's no arbitrary rules, and people choose to go into streams rather than forced into it. And people electively choose to follow people rather than being, hey, you must follow this person. If you don't know what follow for follow is, it's a kind of a group or community where people have to follow a lot of different people, and they get lots of followers, and they are part of a community, but it's quite draconian, and it's a little bit cheating, I would say. I'm not sure if cheating's the right word, but I'm going to roll with it, because I think you're kind of doing yourself a disservice here, because you need to learn how to work when you have no one. And also, if people are forced to be in your stream rather than wanting to be in your stream, raids excluded, of course, but it means that it doesn't, I don't think you're achieving there. You're not learning to become a better streamer. If you can get people to organically come in, that's a pretty good thing. And wouldn't you rather have that actual fulfillment there? Avoid that follow for follow. It's quite a toxic well, so you're doing yourself a favour to kind of step out of it. Again, just to clarify my meaning of follow for follow, you'll be able to tell those groups. People who are caring and nice, they're not follow for follow kind of people. And yeah, it's about kind of being mindful of which groups you join. Number 6, have warmth. Welcome people in. People feel way more relaxed and are more likely to stay if they feel welcomed. If people say hello in the chat and they're totally ignored, do you think that person's going to stay? No, you gotta have that warmth, bring people in, and make sure people feel at home and very welcome. Number 7, look at your stream results. At the end of your Twitch stream, you always get a stream summary. Have a look at what time people were in. What time were they in? What time were they not in? There's typically Twitch graphs on your stream summary to tell you how many people were in, for how long, and what times they went up or down. And I would kind of avoid looking at numbers mid-stream because it's only demoralizing, do you know what I mean? So avoid looking at on-stream, but have a look afterwards. At what points did people come in the most? What points did people leave? How long did they stay for? And if that number's a short time, ask yourself why that is, you know? Like, why do you gain people? How do you retain them? And what are you actively doing to make sure that person comes in? And yeah, think about how can you get people to stay? How could you attract them in, and how do you stop them from leaving? Number 8. I feel like I may have covered this already, but you gain fans by playing specific games. But again, similar to the previous point, but you want them to like you for you. You know, there are many other people playing that game right there and then, and a lot of people, they could be backseat gaming, but they've chosen to come into your stream. Why? Figure it out. And I don't have to say you bring all song and dance to kind of bring them in. And also desperation smells, and you don't want to be too much. But if you're making a nice impact, or you're doing a thing that's a little bit different, that person's likely to stay. If you're able to have that magical touch, that person's likely to return. So the games are important, but your personality is more important in that way. Number 9 is engage with audience you have, but don't freak them out. And this is a hard one, because if you have 1 or 2 people in your stream, that's quite a lot of pressure for those 1 or 2 people. I've definitely been those people before. I've jumped into people's streams to kind of give them some company, and it feels you have to talk to them quite a lot. And I'm a definite lurker in my time. It's hard. It's a lot of pressure, and people haven't done it necessarily to me, and maybe I've done it to other people. But someone comes in, you're like blah 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 blah, and it's like whoa, okay, let's back off. You want to make sure you're engaging with people. You don't want to ignore people. Engage with them, make them feel welcome, be warm, but also know when to back off a little bit. And the key to this is pretend like you're talking to lots of other people. Keep that chat flowing, talking to yourself, talking to the gameplay. When you're playing games, you're able to talk about what's happening. You're narrating, you're commentating, you're creating content and humor. The gameplay is able to add fluidity to the conversation. You can rest in that a little bit. You don't always have to talk to the audience here. That helps kind of keep it a bit more slick. But also you don't want dead silence too. Some people like it like that, or some people prefer to have it like that. That's absolutely fine. Again, USP. But I would say in the general sense that silence, dead air doesn't necessarily keep people around, and it's important to make people feel warm. But again, there are fantastic exceptions to those rules as well, and I'm not here to poke holes in any of those people whatsoever. Make people feel welcome, but don't make them feel awkward. Number 10 is have incentives for part of your stream. What you don't want to do when you're chatting to other people on stream, this happens a lot when you're playing cooperative games with other people, you kind of neglect the chat. And that's okay if you just want to have fun with your friends, but don't do it on air. Make sure to include the chat. What are the incentives for them to be there? Have fun with them, you know, and it can be literal incentives, like it could be if you are the 50th follower, you will win a mug or whatever. That sounds like a bad deal, but do you know what I mean? What are the incentives for being there? There's literal ones, but also there could be stuff like channel points when you get them, when you hit 50 followers and become a Twitch affiliate, and with that average of 3, you're able to get channel points, subscriptions, and these are literal incentives. But also you can have things make people feel validated for being there, you know, making sure that you give them a little something so that they can return, you know. And people, if you're leaving them with a nice feeling, they're likely to come back. So what are some incentives that you could have why people can come back? Number 11, create regularity. People love it to know when you are streaming, and so they can come and make time for you. If I sometimes when you do a surprise stream, you hope people turn up, and that does work. But also, like, people make time for you if you have a regular schedule, people will make time for it. So make sure that you have that there. At the same time, whilst regularity is important, if you organize and promote streams at different times, get to try different times a day or night, and that will also gain you a different audience as well. Try that cross-section audience. It's really important, and it helps your visibility as well. On the flip side, but I would say those streams are really important to have, but also having those regular things where people know when they can see you, that is also helpful as well. Balance is key, but having that regularity there is cool. 12 is promote your streams. Always promote your streams. You don't want to do overkill. It's about not overdoing it, but also doing it right. It's about doing it smart. It's about doing the things which are easiest for you to do. Sometimes a picture of your face on Twitter is more than you need to do, because sometimes that's really effective and people like seeing your face, because you are a lovely human being. Even if you get one person clicking on, that's really helpful. Do you know what I mean? Like one person coming on through Twitter, it just makes people know that you're streaming, and that helps all across what you're trying to do. People will be able to say, oh, that's a new streamer, go and check them out. But make sure to have other content on your social medias and stuff like that to help as well, because you don't want only that. And this leads on to our final point, which is a bit of a big one. Is that too northern? The last one's a real big one. Didn't sound right. Number 13, it's network. You gotta network and connect with other people. This is like community, but let me talk about it a bit more in detail. Let me give you an example of what I mean for point 13. Sometimes you get people who come into your stream. If I'm a streamer and you have people starting out who are quite young and with little fan bases, they'll come in and they'll join, and they're very much welcome in, but they'll join the Discord, and the only thing they'll do for the next year, they don't come to any streams, they've only been in once, they post every day about them doing their stream. And it's one of these things about, that's not an effective method for promotion. What I mean by that is that you may get one person click on through Discord. Firstly, I would ignore posting on different people's Discord for that. Does it really work? No, I don't think so. Maybe every now and then. I've stopped doing it last year, and I don't think it makes a difference. It's not a very effective way to market yourself. Maybe it does work. I don't know, but I don't think it does. But what I mean in that example, I have no reason to click on that link because I met that person once. There's not really a two-way street there. There's an issue that there's a person where they're only interested in promoting their stuff. But what is a really effective way to kind of market yourself, and I don't mean this in a dirty way, but it's networking. We always assume that networking is like, it's a shady thing where you're only trying to get something from someone else. I don't think that's what networking is. I think what networking is getting to know your fellow streamers and making them your friends, hang out with them. That's what I'm trying to say here. Hang out with other people, go into their streams, become part of that community. It's not follow for follow, because you're going to hang out with them, spend time, because there's many things you can give, but giving your time is the most important commodity you can give to a streamer, and that person will always appreciate it. And if you give time to other people, they're more likely to give time back to you. Again, it's not quid pro quo, which is Latin for they don't owe you shit, buddy. And so, you don't do it expecting to be paid back, because that's a dangerous, unhealthy, and kind of a sad mindset. So you're setting yourself up for failure there. But what you should do is give your time like a gift. That's a really important thing to do. So don't exploit that community. Don't only want people to come to your streams. Go and make that step. Go and chat to people. Introduce yourself. Say hello. Don't be kind of like, oh, I have a stream. Just be part of their stream, It's really important to do that. And I've made some of my best friends that way too. So, and also what happens is that you go to their streams because you enjoy hanging out with their streams. And if you're a like-minded person, then their community will kind of like interlink with you, because like you're part of that group too. That's what community is. It's care, it's love, it's hanging out. It's not, well, you're following me because I want more stats. No, fuck that. Love the people you hang around with. That's the key to getting free average viewers. It's quite a grandiose idea, but it's community with care and compassion. And it takes a while to build, so keep at it, okay? There's no time limit on this. You don't feel shamed if you haven't done it in time. It's a bit like puberty. It will happen eventually if you give it enough time. Don't read into that. Anyway, I've been Matt House Comedy. You can follow me on Twitch and also follow me at Matt House Comedy online on Twitter and Facebook and everywhere really. You can check it all out. So yeah, make sure to do that. And if you have watched this video and it's given you some kind of help to grow your audience, well, let me know. It'll be really, really cool. Or if there's anything I can do for you to help you define your unique selling point, please let us know. Leave a comment below if you liked it or if you think it's helpful. I've been Matt House. I'll see you soon.